Gather close and listen well. The fire casts long shadows, and in these shadows tales are born. I have seen kings rise and kingdoms turn to dust. But the greatest battles are not always fought with clashing steel. The most profound struggles are fought in silence in the vast, empty sky. Here a new kind of warrior roams, phantoms, whispers on the wind, hunters gliding unseen. Imagine a creature born of shadow, forged in secret fires, passing through lands like a ghost. This is the art of the unseen, a craft as old as the first hunter. But this new hunter stalks entire armies, cities, kingdoms. It is a weapon and a marvel, the result of a secret war against being seen. The common folk speak of them as dragons of a different sort. Cold, cunning, slipping through nets, striking and vanishing. Lords and generals know it's not magic but a science of shadows, a pact to bend the world's laws. This is the story of the Sky Shadows, of how men learn to craft invisibility, a flying lie, a beautiful deadly illusion that changed war forever. And so, the legend of the unseen hunter begins. In old tales, dragons soar for leagues. Today our dragons are radar, sentinels that scream invisible energy into the sky. When this energy strikes something, it bounces back as an echo, revealing the intruder's location, speed and direction. For years this gaze was absolute. No one could hide from the dragon's shout. The sky was a domain of perfect knowledge for those who commanded the dragon. But what if you could teach the echo to lie? What if you could become a ghost to its senses? The challenge was not speed, but invisibility, flying through the storm of energy, yet sending back no echo. This is the heart of the battle of shadows, the screamer versus the whisperer, the all-seeing eye versus the master of illusion. Wizards of the New Age studied the dragon's nature, learning the language of invisible waves. They discovered that radar's strength, its reliance on a perfect echo, was also its weakness. If you could disrupt that echo, you could blind the beast. The quest became one of physics and geometry, not brute force. The wizards learned how waves bounced from flat surfaces, scattered from curves. They realized that by manipulating these echoes, they could steal the dragon's sight. The battle shifted from open skies to a war of deception. The sky became a chessboard of shadows and whispers. The dragon's scream met the silence of the unseen. And in that silence, a new kind of warfare was born. The sky shadows emerged invisible to the dragon's eye. The age of the unseen had begun. The first secret was in the shape of things. Traditional flying machines with smooth curves betray themselves to radar. Rounded surfaces scatter energy, sending echoes back to the source. So the wizards abandoned curves for faceted armor, countless flat plates, each angled to deflect radar away. Imagine a knight's armor made of tiny mirrors, not reflecting back but hurling the dragon's scream elsewhere. These new machines looked like shards of black glass, sharp, angular, harshly beautiful. Every edge was calculated, every plane designed to send echoes astray. The result, a flying machine that behaved like a ghost to radar. The dragon's energy was scattered into the sky, returning only silence. To those below, it was as if nothing was there. A machine the size of a whale could pass overhead, yet its echo was no bigger than a bird's. It was a triumph of shape over substance. Geometry became the first shield of the sky shadow. The dragon's eye was fooled by cleverness, not strength. The age of faceted armor had arrived. The sky shadow was born from angles and deception. But shape alone was not enough. Even perfect angles could not stop every echo. The wizards needed a cloak, a skin that could swallow the dragon's scream. They invented materials that absorbed radar, mixing magnetic dust into special paints and polymers. When radar struck this cloak, its energy was trapped, turned into harmless heat. This cloak of darkness, radar-absorbent material, was heavy, fragile, and required careful tending. The sky shadows were kept in special shelters, their magic maintained by skilled hands. The combination of faceted armor and absorbing cloak was devastating. The dragon's shout was deflected, then devoured. The void answered with silence. The sky shadow became a true phantom, unseen, unheard, untouched. The silence was its greatest weapon. The quest for invisibility is ancient. The wizards of the sky shadows drew from the wisdom of hunters and scouts. Camouflage, deception and silence, these are old arts. The first warrior smeared mud to break his outline. The first ranger wore the colours of the woods. The sky shadow's faceted armour is the hunter's mud, its cloak the deep forest's shadow. Even the silent flight of owls inspired the design, edges and surfaces to muffle sound. The new magic is built on the old. To hide from radar or the human eye, you must first understand how your enemy sees. Then twist that perception, present a false image, or none at all. The sky shadow is the ultimate predator, blending ancient cunning with modern science. A shadow must be more than unseen, it must be unheard. The engines that give life also betray presence, burning with heat and roaring with sound. The wizards had to tame this inner fire. Enemy sensors see heat, not light. A hot exhaust is a beacon in the night. The wizards cooled the exhaust, mixing it with cold air, spreading the heat into a faint cloud. They buried engines deep, lined intakes with absorbing material, and shaped exhausts to muffle sound. Every seam, every surface was scrutinized for silence. The sky shadow had to be invisible to radar, cold to infrared, and silent to the ear. Only by mastering all three could the wizards create a perfect phantom. The machine became a complete illusion. It passed through the world as if it were never there. The sky shadow was a ghost in every sense. The art of silence was as vital as the art of invisibility. Who are these wizards? They are engineers and scientists, masters of our age. In secret workshops, they wage a silent war against detection. Their craft is slow, patient, each success built on countless failures. They test shapes, invent new materials, and argue over equations. Each is a master of a different school: aerodynamics, materials, electromagnetics. Together, they form a council united by one purpose: invisibility. The battle never ends. As soon as a new sky shadow is born, the enemy invents new ways to see. The struggle is a duel of wits, fought across continents. These nameless wizards hold more power than kings, forging weapons that can topple thrones from afar. Their legacy is not in monuments, but in the fleeting shadows they create. They are the unseen force behind the modern battlefield. Their triumphs are silent, their power immense. The sky shadow is their masterpiece. The world was changed. The old rules of war were shattered. Walls and armies no longer guaranteed safety. The sky shadow created a new kind of fear, the fear of the unknown. A handful of these machines could cripple a nation before war truly began. The first blow was now silent, delivered by a ghost. Power shifted. The strong grew stronger. The unprepared were left defenseless. This new power brought a heavy burden. Wisdom was needed to wield it. The presence of sky shadows created a tense peace held by the threat of invisible retaliation. The shadow in the sky keeps swords sheathed for now. So when you look up, remember, the sky is not empty. Hunters glide on wings of shadow and silence, a testament to man's cunning. The fate of kingdoms now rests on the flight of a fleeting shadow.